Hey Virgo, welcome to your weekly forecast for July 5th through the 11th. We do have a new moon happening on the 9th, a new moon in Cancer. So we're going to connect here and we're going to see what messages are coming up, what we can expect to have come in for the Virgo collective. Again, Virgo, sun, moon, and rising. We're going to see what's happening here, my darlings, and we're going to go from there. Your cards are... A lot of people are stuck right now. Well, when I say stuck, I mean indecisive. Maybe having a hard time making a decision. Yeah, see? Because as I'm shuffling, this is happening. So that tells me that people are having a hard time with decisions. It could be because of the new moon energy. This new moon is going to make us a little bit more emotional and really be thinking about our personal relationships. Now, that doesn't mean romance only. I mean, obviously, romance can be a part of that, but this can be family, friendships, business relationships. So we might be having a hard time deciding between what our head is telling us, what our heart is telling us, what our gut is telling us. There could be something here in the collective in terms of big decisions coming up. But we're going to look at the cards and see what they're letting us know about what you can expect for the week ahead for the Virgo collective. And the first card coming up here, my dears, is the Lovers. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is the very first card right out the gate that came out for Cancer as well. So some of you could have a Cancer placement, or because it might be a similar energy, you could have a Gemini placement because this card is associated with Gemini. The only reason why I brought up Cancer is because this card also came up for them, okay? And so some of you might be looking at your love life, or you might be having to make big decisions about love life because this is the Lovers card after all. However, okay, originally, when the tarot was introduced, the sixth major arcana card was not called the Lovers. It didn't become the Lovers card until much later. Originally, it was called the Choice. Some decks called it the Decision. Some decks called it the Sacrifice. So the Lovers card comes up when we have to choose oftentimes between two different things. And sometimes we're having to decide, like, what are our deal breakers? What do we want? How bad do we want it? What are we willing to give up to get it? And so some of us are having to make choices or decisions. I feel, Virgo, that a lot of you are feeling very, like, almost pained because you see the doors that are opening for you. And you have a lot of intuitive guidance that's coming in right now. But you know very well that if you walk through those doors and accept that guidance, that there's going to be people that you're going to have to leave behind. Because they're not waking up and they're not growing. And for some of you, it's very painful. It's almost like symbolically, not literally. I don't mean this is literal. I'm giving a symbolic example, or like I don't know if metaphor is the right word, but almost as if like there was a house on fire and you're trying to warn people, or you're trying to wake them up, and you're trying to show them the way out, but they don't want to do it. They don't want to go. They just want to stay. And you try to grab them, you try to pull them, you can't. And now it's kind of getting to the point where you're gonna have to go. Like it's time for you to get out of there, right? To go through those open doors and get out of there. And so for some of you, it's like you're having a hard time because you know you have to do this. You know it's time to do this. You know that this is what you want to do as a matter of self-preservation and to have a healthy life. But it's like it's paining you because you're thinking about who is being left behind. Okay? For some of you, right? And I'm not trying to be negative. I don't want this to be the case. You know, I have a Virgo placement. I don't want it to be, I don't want it to be the case for myself or for anybody else. But when the messages come in, I have to share those. I have to tell you what I'm feeling or sensing. Okay? So it's a decision or a choice for some of you in terms of like going off and allowing yourself to be happy, or staying behind in a situation which is soul crushing or toxic, right? I do feel though that for many of you, because we do have a major arcana card here, and this is going to be crossroads, transitions, your angels and guides are moving you through it. Like, come on, Virgo, let's go. It's going to be all right. It's time to do this. You're okay. You know, I also feel that kind of energy as well on a positive note. Okay. Next card coming in for you guys is the Chariot. So see, look, I told you guys, this is weird. I need to know in the comments. I'm gonna have to look at the comments later when I'm able to really focus on them. But you know, I told you, Lover's card, if I'm not mistaken, was the first card Cancer got when I did their reading. Now we have the Chariot card coming up. This is associated with the astrological sign of Cancer. So some of you do have something going on with the Cancer where you're having to make a big decision about what you want to do. Some of you are at a crossroads with someone who's Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising. If you have a Cancer placement, it's very safe to say that this new moon is ushering in really, really, really big changes for you in that area of your life, because we have major arcana cards coming in back to back now. So this is big energetic shifts, big changes, you know, big moments of growth. Chariot card is also having to do with like making a decision and things beginning to move or flow forward. Okay, there's a decisiveness with the Chariot card. And I've said this before in previous readings. I think the best way to you know, put that up, to sum it up in a nutshell, the energy around the Chariot card when it comes to decisiveness. Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, once we make a decision, the universe conspires to make it happen. So some of you have been feeling very stuck, and you've been like, angels, guides, you know, show me which direction to go in. Like show me what I'm supposed to be doing. Help me. And they're like wanting to help you, but this is a situation in your life that's directly connected to free will, where your angels and guides don't really have the permission in this situation to tell you what you know, quote unquote, should or shouldn't do, but rather they're here to help you once you make up your mind. And so there's a decisiveness here, because both these cards have an element of decision making attached to them, choices, life choices. Chariot card can also indicate here getting to a sanctuary city. Okay, if you read about the Chariot card, the history of the Chariot card, one of the key words for a long time, I think lately it's been changed, but was like getting to a sanctuary city. So today in our day now, sanctuary city has a completely different meaning. I'm not trying to spark any debates here. That's not what I'm here to do, and that's not what I'm talking about. Back in the old days, okay, sanctuary city was like, say somebody made a mistake, or they committed a crime, or they made a mistake. And there were certain cities that if that person could get to that city before they were found, they couldn't be extradited. They once they were in that particular city, you couldn't touch them. And so if you stayed out from the statute of limitations at that time in that city, it was as if you had kind of already done your time. And as long as you were a good citizen there, as long as you behaved while you were there, you've done your time, and you can go back to the original place if you wanted to, and they wouldn't be able to you know, take you to court. They wouldn't be able to put you in jail. It would be done. It would be in the past. And so some of you might be feeling a need to get to safety. Okay, and for some of you, this could be leaving a situation or relationship that is toxic or abusive. Okay. So some of you might be making a decision to relocate. This might be happening very spontaneously, or you may be over the next few weeks manifesting a move or a relocation. Maybe for some of you, it won't be like a big relocation in terms of going to a different state. It could just be like moving to a new area, or moving, some of you may be moving very far away from somebody who's been very toxic or abusive, and putting some distance between the two of you. Okay, there can also be here with the Chariot a sense of travel. This could be road trips. Maybe some of you have a really big decision to make. Maybe some of you are in a situation where you're thinking of parting ways with somebody, and maybe some of you are planning some kind of a road trip with this person specifically for the decision making process. Like what are we gonna do? Like, let's talk about this. Let's get a change of scenery. Let's try to bond. Let's try to figure it out. There could be an element of travel, transportation, road trip energy for some of you as well, and as a part of making a decision, or talking about a decision that you're trying to make. The next card coming up here, my dears, is wow, Virgo. Wow, big changes. We've got all these major arcana cards coming in back to back. So Virgo, I wouldn't be surprised if some of you come back to this reading, or some of you don't find this reading until like significantly later, but somehow it really resonates even if you're watching it when it's not July 5 through 11. Because major arcana energies, major arcana cards are coming up when we're in a new chapter. We're coming into a new chapter, a new cycle, a new phase. It's a defining moment. It's a moment of growth. So major arcana cards aren't going to just be like something that's happening for a day or two, or even for a week. Major arcana energy is energy that's going to be around for a while. Okay, like a good minute here. And you've got these three major arcana cards coming in back to back. The majority of your reading is major arcana, and we still have one card to go, and that one could be major arcana too. So we'll see here in a minute. But this is letting us know that what's happening this week for you guys, Virgo, I'm going to say your life's never going to be the same again, right? Your life is changing forever. And with this Temperance card here, these changes for many of you are going to be about stepping into your path, okay? The Temperance card has an element to it of like answering a calling, or aligning with a calling, or with like a sense of purpose or a sense of meaning. Temperance card also is patience, divine timing, working with others, finding balance, right? And this new moon energy is going to be about our interactions with others, our relationships with others. So some of you are taking your time and trying to find the right compromise, the right balance, where you can maybe, work with others, or resolve certain conflicts, but not lose your sense and not lose yourself in the process, and not be taken off your path in the process, like finding a way around this. Virgo, I feel for some reason, for some of you, there's some big changes coming up here where you're going to be getting a lot of attention. And you're having to distance yourself from certain friends or certain family. And for some of you, this is like a mutual thing. Like your friends and your family, like they're not wanting the attention on them, or maybe they don't agree with what you're doing. And so some of you might be doing something like taking on a different name, okay? Like if you're doing something like in public, you might be doing it in a way where like, people aren't gonna know, who your friends or family are, okay? I feel here there's something, like there's some kind of an agreement in terms of like, well, you know, we're not going to turn our back on you, but we don't want to be a part of it, or we don't want people to know that like there's a connection. And for some of you, you don't want it either, because you're distancing yourself from that past in some kind of a way. So again, this could be like a job, or going to a school. Maybe you've got like a relative or somebody there, and you guys are agreeing, like, let's not tell people we're related, or, you know, like there could be something like that. And it could just be like wanting a fresh start, or like wanting your own sense of identity, and like not being associated with anybody else. There could be a sense of independence here. You know, this is not very much an independent energy, but this is an independent energy, and this is an independent energy. So some of you are coming to this energy of like wanting to be your own person, you know. Sorry, I was just hearing something, and I'm trying to figure out what it is. I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was. Okay, but let's just take that as confirmation that a lot of you are just wanting a little bit more independence in your own identity. Next card coming up here, our darling Virgos, is the Queen of Pentacles. This also came up for Taurus, okay, but it was their first card, not their last. And this is that earth sign energy, right? This is going to be Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This is you grounding yourself. This is you coming into that powerful aspect of the earth sign energy. Queen of Pentacles also is going to have to do with matters of business, matters of finance, matters of the home. Queen of Pentacles is that kind of energy of working hard and playing hard. Okay, but again, she's sitting here by herself with her coin or with her money. I do feel that there's something here, Virgo, where some of you are, I'm not going to say cutting off somebody financially, but I do feel there's something here in terms of completely and totally getting rid of any financial ties to a certain situation or person. So this could be like buying out a business partner and just like, this is it, this is me, I'm doing this by myself. This could be like if there's been matters of money with family, like a separating of assets. Maybe some of you are married or living with someone and you guys are deciding to separate assets, or you may be going into a marriage, or you may be going into a relationship with someone that you want to be with them, but you might also be realizing in this new moon energy, because some vulnerabilities are coming to the surface, you might realize that, you know what, it kind of scares me to have my money tied up to somebody, right? Like it kind of scares me to be in that situation. And so there's something here in like separating assets, right? Not in like a greedy hoarding kind of way, but like for some of you, it's making you feel more safe, right? Like at the end of the day, you're not tied to somebody financially. They're not going to go in and like, you know, take your stuff, or, you know, God forbid if things go sour, you're not going to be stuck in that situation. You have the ability to just kind of like pick up and go. So there could be something here in like separating of assets. For some of you, it's the other way around. Some of you are deciding to go all in with somebody. Okay. You might be deciding to, take your assets, and they might be taking some of theirs, and you might be coming into a new partnership or a new business, okay? Because depending on where you are in your journey, we're going to learn this lesson in different ways. For some of you, it's by letting somebody in. For some of you, it's by coming into this, like doing it on your own. But I do feel this sense and this energy here of even if you are letting somebody in, doing something financially with somebody, I do feel there is some kind of separation with somebody else, right? So if you've had certain financial obligations, you might be figuring that out or getting out of those financial obligations. You might be contributing less money to a family situation, or you might be giving your kids less money, or telling your kids, you guys are grown now, I can't help you anymore, or you might be doing something along the lines of like reducing some kind of payments. You know, maybe you're reducing an alimony or reducing a spousal support thing. It's going to be different for different ones of you, but I do feel a sense of like you're not just moving on from the situation, there's some kind of financial separation from it. You may want to check out your moon sign and rising sign videos, because some weeks those are going to add a little bit more information. Sometimes they might resonate for you more than your sun sign. Those of you that want to check out the love and romance readings for July, I knocked over my coffee. All right, let's just hope we don't get any more flying ants in here. So, what was I saying, guys? I just lost my train of thought. Yes, some weeks your rising or moon sign might resonate more than your sun sign. And those of you who want to watch the love and romance readings, I'm going to link that in the description of the video, obviously. And then if you would like a private reading with me, you can schedule by going to calendly.com/amethystangelite. Be very cautious, guys, because somebody's going around pretending to be me, emailing people and trying to set up readings. I don't email people. Okay, I wish I had that kind of time to just be emailing people like, hey, what's up? It's Amethyst. You know, come get a reading with me. I don't do that. I don't have a mailing list. I don't like email announcements or anything like that. So it's not me if you're getting emails from somebody saying that they're Amethyst. If you want to schedule a reading with me, it's only going to be through Calendly. So just be aware of that. I'm not doing it in any other kind of way. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Bye, Virgos. Have a wonderful week, my dears.